Alright, I'm going to walk you guys through how I do my breakdowns, kind of how I make the graphics. Use Photoshop. I have a copy of it. If you guys need it, I will probably attach it in the email, how to do it. It's a little bit tricky, but pretty straightforward. The first thing that we want to do, well, let me actually just show you what a lot of our breakdowns end up looking like, the final product, shall we say. Let's grab one of these. Yeah, let's see what's happening here. Alright, so a couple things you can see here. Just in the greatest one to show, it's not a lot going on, but one thing is you get the arrows with the player over them, kind of like in Madden or whatever, circles over them, I mean. Kind of just a nice thing, you get to see the whole player. Two, you see kind of the bigger text color coordinated with a drop shadow on it, just makes it kind of pop out, and arrows also with the drop shadow. Just kind of, you can kind of see how it looks without it. I'll turn one off real quick, and it just looks pretty flat, and it's a little harder to read. So with that in mind, let me walk you guys through. This is one I've already done. I just turned off all the layers, so we'll just quickly go through how I do it, and hopefully this will make it easier for you guys going forward. So first thing first, we want to select. We're going to have to select the players we want to put circles, rounds, or highlight, bring attention to, however you want to do it. We're going to have to select them, copy them, and paste them so that we can have two layers of them. So we can have the base layer of them and then the copied image of them, and put the circle in between them. If that makes sense. It'll make more sense as I go through it. So let's just select, I think this is Julius Thomas here. First, foremost, you want to be on the background because it as you can see, it kind of auto directs here. Once you get a certain color, it kind of auto selects everything. So I'm just going to go through. This is going to seem extremely tedious at first, and it is, but you get it going pretty quick. So here we have Julius Thomas. We're going to hit Control C, or we can do it up here, Edit, Copy, and then we're going to do Control Paste. And you're going to see a new layer just got made, Layer 8. So if we turn this off, Layer 8 would be the only one. So then if we wanted to select, oops, my bad on that, let me deselect everything. So if we wanted to put a circle around and highlight him on his route, we can go up here, Line Tool, Circle, bunch of styles. Again, we've kind of made these. I've kind of decided a rough what I want. So let's just circle him in red, and then we can kind of get through. And so now you can see how he is highlighted, and he's on top of it, so you don't lose sight of him. It's kind of clean looking. Again, I'll show you kind of what the style is. It's simply just an outer glow, normal. You can look at spread 11. I don't know how I came to these numbers. They just kind of came. They worked. Been doing them ever since. So if you're getting started, you might just want to copy these. If you feel something, we kind of try and keep it all the same throughout the site. Makes it look kind of cohesive. So let's just keep it all the same as that. If you guys have issues, suggestions, certainly shoot them my way. I am not hell-bent on staying this way. I'm pretty flexible. So with that, let's just break down kind of what else we do. So we want to show he is running. Let's start to turn on some of these other layers I've already done, just so we can kind of easily see. So we're going to do these two. As you can see, are cutouts. So we cut out. I just cut out the legs. You don't need to cut out everything else. A lot of shots, you just need what you're going to cover. So that's what we have cut out. And then we're going to start seeing some of the circles, the players we've highlighted in different colors. So I think here we're looking at kind of the cover 3 of Seattle, and then these two route combinations in Wes Welker breaking underneath them. So there's going to be a double deep post. And we're kind of focusing on Chancellor here, how he rides the deep post and then breaks on the route. So that's what we're really trying to portray. As silly as that sounds, it's really how I kind of go through each screenshot and think, what am I trying to get through, go from there, what is the end goal. But that's, again, just me. So based off that, let's see. So we're going to have a couple layers here. And this is a curved layer, which is the one part of Photoshop that really pisses me off, because this is surprisingly difficult to do. So let's draw this double post from scratch here. So first things first, There's no like curved line layer. I don't know. Seems like they should have had it in such an expensive software, but whatever. So layer, we're just gonna do new layer, layer 8. So here it is, layer 8. We're gonna go down and click on the line circle tool, whatever you want. We're gonna click the pen, and it's gonna auto click over to this like select your own diagram thing. So you have this little pen with the X. So we want to just click our 3 points. So there's our little route. Then we're going to go over here, click and hold, and you'll see this other menu comes up. This actually happens with all of these menus on the sides. If you're ever looking for something, sometimes it's hidden under here. It's frustrating, it takes a little while to figure out, but we're going to convert point tool. So we're going to grab that point, and we are going to just kind of, sometimes they're coming backwards, make some subtle changes. So just kind of smooths it out. Again, if you're doing something and you don't feel like doing this, this is not necessary by any means. I'm just a little anal about how things look. I think this makes it look clean, and I think our readers certainly enjoy it. So it's nice to do, but I understand if this curved line part especially, this is by far the most particular of all of them. So the next thing is we want to fill that line. So we need to select the color we want to fill it with. So I'm going to select this pretty close, his densest circle on his highlighter, so we get the same color. I usually choose the brightest. The opacity kind of throws it off a little bit. So we're going to have that. And it's going to fill off the brush feature, so this feature right here. So we're going to go in here. This depends on the size of your image. For me it's 4. Make sure the opacity is at 100, flows at 100. Mode lighten. I just do normal. But and then, so once we have that brush all set up, go back to our point converting tool. Convert point tool, my bad. And we're going to click there, and you're going to go stroke path. And it's going to say brush. You're going to, boom, there you go. And you'll see the line over it. When you press enter, it's all good. So that's what we have. I'm going to delete that because I already have it made. Well, actually, let's just show what we do with all of our lines and text. So we want to do that little drop shadow as you saw in the other preview. So we're going to go in here, double click on it. Pops up this layer style, drop shadow. I usually do 3 on the pixel. Again, whatever you choose. I wouldn't do anything over that because if you see, you can get stuff that looks really wacky if you go really high. Again, I would just keep it consistent is the main thing, whatever you guys are feeling doing. So that's how we do that. And then last but not least, kind of the big thing is text. So putting your text, Thomas runs a deep post against cover 3. So again, you kind of gotta, it'll readjust. I do the centered type, just makes it look cleaner to me. Again, mainly, you know, there's lots of room for flexibility, whatever you want to do. I think the key thing going forwards would be really cutting out the players. I know it seems really anal, but it makes it look super clean. You know, the drop shadows and stuff. And more what I was getting to is keeping it consistent throughout your work and trying to make it as cohesive with what everyone else is doing on the site, just so we have some sort of unity there. So let's just click that off, and we're going to go down and double click on this layer. You kind of got to double click it high, because if you click it here, you're going to get that. So you need to click in this little bar. It's weird, I know, but we're going to do a drop shadow. So here 5, you can see, makes it a little bit difficult to read in my mind. So I usually do 3 or 4 for darker colors. So if this were darker, it doesn't work nearly as well in dark colors. Just kind of dark on dark doesn't really work. Oops. So in that case, you might want to drop it down to like 2 or 1. It's not going to have this as good of an effect, probably 2, but it's the best we can do. I tend to stick with lighter colors, they pop more, but there's times where you have to go with a darker color. So let me just kind of start to turn on some of these layers we have here, and we can look at, so let's delete the 2 we made just so we don't have too many overlaps. And then we can start to, so this you can see is just a basic, well, let's actually show those real quick. So another thing is if you don't want to do a curved line, you just want a regular line. Fair enough. Understandable. Here, so you click up here, got your little arrowheads, usually at the end. Play with these figures. Again, this depends a lot on the size of your image. This is a full screen image I've taken because I have the NFL Game Rewind, so I get pretty high quality. If you're taking smaller images, using smaller images in your post, you're going to have to kind of play with the size of all of your elements, including the circles. Sorry about that, but that's just kind of how you're probably going to quickly find that you're going to make your own sizes and then go from there. So right here I have a weight of 12 centimeters. I'm going to choose a red styling, so just a solid red, because that's what we're going to show him dropping back, I think is what we're showing here. And so we're just going to do that. Again, double click on it, drop shadow, boom. Looks clean, looks nice. There's a little bit of this strange area here, but adding a drop shadow to this circle really doesn't look good. So those are pretty flat. The arrows are elevated. Looks a little funky, but still pretty good. So we're going to delete that, and we're just going to go turn on some layers. So one by one we'll kind of show you. So here's some of the text is going to come in, and these will make more sense as all the layers turn on. So we'll come back to those. That little arrow there might look a little funky, but it'll make sense. So yeah, we can show it here. So the arrow, as you can see, when you do those curved lines as we saw last time, you don't have an arrowhead, so you need to just go in there and draw a little arrow at the end of your. So we'll delete it and show what I'm talking about here. So we have that, and we obviously want a little arrow showing him going. So we're gonna just flip to our light green. Our arrow's right size. Click on the end and drag it, and just create a little arrowhead. And you're also gonna have to go in there and do drop shadow. It's a little. That one looks a little funky, but we're just gonna roll with it right now. Because I'm probably already talked my ass off here, and you guys are getting bored of it. So. More points coming in as the routes will come into effect. Looks like I somehow accidentally deleted this other route, but as you can see, there was once another post route here. I probably accidentally deleted it, but you can see how kind of the goal here that I think I've accomplished is it's clean, it's informative, it's color coordinated, so it makes it easy to look at. Again, a lot of times you won't have this big imagery and you won't want to put text on it. That's fine. I prefer to. I find a lot of people when they read when I read a lot of breakdown sites, I tend to, if I'm not super interested, flip through and just look at the images, and this way hit people with kind of that on that, more information while they flip through and just look at the images. But that's about it for now. I'm sure I'll think of 3 or 4 more things I should have told you guys, but I will send those along in an email or another video. And any questions, of course, shoot them to me, and enjoy.